All right, we're going to get started with district updates. Dr. Kosorek.
All right. I'm going to start out just by recognizing several board members for some board achievement. So when I call your name, I would just ask you to come up front. I'm going to present you with your certificate, and Mr. Yates is going to take a nice photo. So the first Board of Education member I'd like to recognize, and this is on behalf of the New York State School Boards Association, is Christine Price. Through NYSSBA Board of Excellence Recognition Program, conferring more than 75 points on your ongoing association professional development. So, congratulations. Congrats.
Thank you.
And also this evening, recognizing Kaylee Bennett for her work as well and her 75 points of ongoing association professional development. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome, congrats.
Oh, thank you.
Can you Photoshop Adam out? If you have the iPhone 25, you can just push the button, right? All right, so welcome this evening. It's great to see everybody. Congratulations to Mark and Nancy on their re-election to the Board of Education, and also a warm welcome to Amanda Diedrich on her election to the board. And once again, wanting to thank Therese for her past 6 years of commitment to the students of the district as well. So welcome and congratulations, and looking forward to our work together. Also, thank you and congratulations to everyone on a successful budget vote. Truly appreciate all the hard work and dedication from so many who made it possible. And I'd like to give a special thanks to Michelle McHugh for her leadership. Yeah, that's right. So I thought the budget process ran extremely smooth as far as the day of the vote, and a lot of that goes to Michelle for her ability to facilitate and lead. So there were some times, there was a couple hiccups in the road with some of the technology, but she was cool as a cucumber and got everything worked out. And I can remember times of not being able to get results on the budget for quite some time, and we were under 30 minutes. So once again, that is just a tribute to everyone, but I also want to recognize Michelle for all of her efforts, because that can be a stressful time for sure with a lot of eyes on you. We will have a community Zoom webinar on distraction-free learning, aka bell-to-bell cell phone restriction, for students next year. This is going to be on June 16th at 6 p.m. So you'll see invites on social media, on our website. We may be sending notifications out to families in different ways. But this will give us an opportunity to present to the greater community what to expect when their students return to school in September, what will be allowed and what won't be allowed, and all that good news. So that will be recorded and also placed on our website. So for parents who can't make it that evening, it'll be there. And then also working with the principals and Dave Yates as well on some informational videos that we'll be sending out, and kind of a blitz from June until August, so that there's no confusion. It gives people a lot of opportunities to plan and ask questions and seek clarification. So we started those conversations quite some time ago. There's been input from our school improvement teams. We've now had input from the Teachers Association and some of the other unions. So continuing to move forward, and I've done a lot of listening, and I think we've got a pretty good plan. And nothing's perfect, right? We're going to progress monitor. We're going to check in, see how it's working, and we'll tweak it here and there to make sure that we can fulfill the governor's mandate. So once again, this is not a Hilton-centric decision. This is the governor's decision and the government's decision. And as we know, a lot of the research shows that this can be very positive for our students. So I think it's going to be a challenge up front early on, but I'm very hopeful that we can work together with families and staff to make sure that students benefit from this change in policy and practice. And then last but not least, as we enter June, we begin the season of celebration. So 1 month till graduation, 27th. So I know we're going to finish strong. That's everything I have for you. I'll answer any questions you might have.
All right, next up, Ms. Bellini.
Good evening. I'm excited to give you an update on our progress with the implementation of the community school strategy at Village Elementary School. This month, Casey referenced it last time we met, we were awarded an ESL grant that will allow us to add a site coordinator from the Center for Youth over the next 2 school years. And we believe this role will be instrumental in advancing our work with the community schools approach. Liz Thornton and Ben Rudd participated in the interview process for the site coordinator along with the Center for Youth, as well as the social learning specialist. Both of these will be key to supporting our students and families at Village. In addition, Ms. Thornton's been actively networking with a consortium of local districts that also participate in the schools closer through BOCES. Through this collaboration, we've learned that we have access to additional grant funding as well, and we're currently exploring some opportunities to bring resources to the district for the start of the school year. To ensure a smooth transition, Dr. Rudd and Ms. Thornton will work closely with our Village Community Schools vertical team on the onboarding and integration of our new site coordinator this fall, and we're looking forward to sharing some more updates with you as we embark on this new journey in September. And then secondly, I wanted to remind you that our district's annual strategic plan survey was sent to families and to staff last Monday. It will remain open through this Friday. This annual survey is a tool for us to gather feedback from a variety of constituents to determine how well we're doing in our progress towards the strategic plan goals. So we appreciate the participation of our stakeholders. We look forward to using their information to inform our next steps. And if you haven't done your survey, feel free to do so by Friday. Happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Dale.
Good evening, everybody. Just a couple of updates tonight. One, at the next Board of Education meeting, I do anticipate having resignations from Katie Jo Bracero and Laura Bauer. Both of our assistant principals at Village are being appointed tonight at Gates and East Ironquois, respectively. They've done a great job. I would anticipate postings going out tomorrow for those positions. And also, I'll keep you up to date as I work through with Dr. Rudd, setting up a timeline, a process, screening, interviews, and so forth. So those are big holes to fill, but we want to make sure as we make progress with Village that we get those positions filled with the best as well. Also, want to give a big shout out to Jim Barrett in the business office. As you remember, a couple years ago, we started to use Frontline for both our substitute request system, staff requesting days off, and so we're moving. We moved the administrators and the teachers to submitting their timesheets electronically. And over the past, the last year, we've now added all the budget codes to begin switching our hourly staff. We have tried a variety of pathways from having people badge in, and we now have all of the bus drivers have the ability to badge in, and we've done some testing with them. We've expanded the pilot of that testing. It does appear that we've made great progress in having an accurate payroll for base pay. And so we met as a team again today. We're now developing a timeline and process with Jim and the business office on some of the resources that we set up initially when we initially did it with teachers and administrators. We can now use with staff. So we're excited about that because again, for most of our staff that works the same shift every day, Monday through Friday, our teaching assistants, our aides, our clerical, they're going to have pre-filled out timesheets. They'll just confirm every 2 weeks, and then they'll do it. Trickiest people have been our bus drivers and our cleaners. So we're really working and focusing on that. And again, I just appreciate Adam, Jim Barrett, and Josh Annis from our technology department, because it's not only the embedding of pay codes, but then when you do a download, right, and you extract all that information, and then you upload it to our payroll system, right, that's the magic. And so you'll be pleased to know I'm not part of that process. I leave that to Adam. But again, I think overall it will give our employees, once we get over this learning curve, which we know how much everybody loves change, so once we get through this learning curve, I do think it's going to be a better process, because instead of our payroll clerk hand entering 400 employees' hourly amounts every 2 weeks, we will be able to capture it, they will confirm it, a supervisor will review it and check it, and then the process will begin at payroll of double checking. And so Jim and Sherry in this office have done a great job, and Brittany and I, our initial lift was a couple of years ago, and now getting the hourly staff has been Jim in the business hub. So again, we've been a great team, and it's been exciting to work with such a team and get back and forth. So I hope to have 12-month staff starting to complete that process in mid-July. And then, so that we're ready, we can work out all the bugs and little kinks, so that when 10-month staff is back in September, they're just jumping on the system and we're supporting them with great materials and resources from there. So, but if you have any other questions, we are the first district in the county to use Frontline's time and attendance system. So I hate to say that I've taken multiple phone calls from multiple districts, and I have, because people are recognizing that the old handwritten, lots of districts are still using handwritten time cards and time sheets. We're at least advancing our process and use some of the technology to our benefit. And that's all I have.
All right. Mr. Geis.
Good evening. I have one update for you tonight on our food service budget. So hopefully you had a chance to look at the director's report from Scott. In there was the presentation that he has. It's really short. It's like 5 slides, and that includes like an intro slide and a question slide. So, but it basically shows what our revenues and expenses will be for next year. The really one big change is New York State is now funding universal meals, which really isn't impacting us as a district from our 5 buildings. They will still receive, as part of CEP, free breakfast and lunch. However, it does impact St. Paul's. So St. Paul's does not qualify under CEP for free breakfast and lunch, but because New York State has now provided universal free meals, they will qualify for free lunch. So that will be a change as we move forward into the new year. So hopefully you had a chance to look at that. If you had any questions, you can reach out to me and let me know.
All right. All right, we don't have any public comments, so we'll move on to approval of the minutes from the previous meeting, the May 13th meeting. So I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes from the May 13th meeting. Nancy, followed by Christine. Any discussion? All in favor? 7-0. Board member reports. I don't have anything to report.
Nothing for me. No board report for me. No report.
Tomorrow is the NCSBA annual meeting. Did your flag all in?
They did, so I should have reported that. Stephanie will be filling in for me as I chair on the committees.
And then next week is the legislative committee with Regents coming to kind of give us an update. That was requested by members. Got a good crowd.
No report.
All right. Moving on to consent. We have 2 addendums. Consent runs A through S. There is an addendum to the personnel report, as well as Adam has submitted the addendum for the flooring contract. So we have consent all the way through S with the 2 addendums. Do I have a motion to approve the consent portion with the addendums?
So moved.
Christine, followed by Nancy again, I think, down there. Any discussion?
Yeah, I did want to ask Adam, so on the food and beverage bids, and then what we're actually paying, it seemed to be, I don't know, what, 20% increase? I don't know if you have.
It was, so it was an $84,000 increase from last year to this year on this. I think there were 6 or 7 bids that are in there. One of them had a couple different parts to it. I did reach out to Scott Zabrowski just to get what is the difference between that pre and post bid. So the pre is what we're currently paying right now. It's our current existing contract. Post is what it's going to. He said typically it runs about a 6 to 7% change. Some were up, some were down. The overall change for the aggregate of all of them was just under 6.4%. So overall was in line with what he expected and fits in nicely with the food service budget for next year.
All in favor? 7-0. All right, that brings us new business. First up is accepting the results of the budget vote and the elections. Do I have a motion to approve the election results and budget vote?
So moved.
Stephanie, second by Ed. Any discussion? All in favor? 7-0. And now we have the bond resolution, or the bus bond resolutions, right? I'm looking for a motion to approve those. Keely, followed by Nancy. Any discussion or questions? All in favor? 7-0. And that brings us to the end of the meeting.
I do have one question. So the electric bus was voted down. So what are our next steps in terms of, the mandate is still the 2027 and then 2035. And I've heard there's like a 2-year extension. It's now 4 years. So in terms of looking at a zero emission bus and that whole avenue, is it something we just kind of put off, or we make another attempt?
I would look at the next attempt being in the next budget cycle. So at this point in time, I think it's important for us to take the results that we heard from the community and continue to inform the governor and the elected officials in the Senate and Assembly that we made a good faith effort to attain the electric bus. It would have been free at no cost to the community. The community spoke at, what was it, a 56% disapproval. So continue to advocate with the government to help them understand what that might look like. Continue to interact with stakeholders in our community to understand why. I think we can make some assumptions, but I think it'll be important to understand why that was voted down. And then if we were to put another bus up, I would do that the next time we put up a budget and transportation proposal.
Thanks.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn? Ed, second by Nancy. All in favor? 7-0. All right. Have a good night, everybody.